Hey, what is up guys? My name is Sean and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel today. In today's video I had the idea of transforming the Fallen Kingdom into something a little bit more updated, so let's get on with the video. And if you guys don't know what Fallen Kingdom is from, it is from a Minecraft parody of Coldplay's Viva La Vida. And I just found out that the person who created the original map actually posted it on Planet Minecraft. So if you want to get your hands on the original map, go and check out the link in the description below. Alright guys, so now actually getting on with the transformation, I do start on a couple of houses next to the Fallen Kingdom itself. I didn't want to start off with the castle. I don't know why I didn't do it actually, but I wanted to get kind of a little bit of a house style going, then I can transform the castle around this style as well. And when first starting this transformation, I didn't really realize how many houses I actually did have to transform. So I do skip around here. I do some of the houses at the beginning, then later on I go in and finish the rest of them after we transform the main castle. You guys might also notice here I do use a bunch of different blocks to emulate kind of like flags. Instead of the just wool texture, I go with some different blocks to mix it up and make it look a little bit better, keeping that same color palette though. And with these houses, I felt like the original ones were pretty bland and boring, so I did go in and kind of add like a pretty bright roof, in my opinion, an orange roof, but I think it looks really nice. So after experimenting with some of the first houses, I go in and start actually working on the castle itself. Firstly going into the staircase and giving it a little bit of a transformation, making it a little bit wider in parts and just making it overall look a little bit better. I also do fix the path here, adding the stone and cobblestone in there instead of the gravel and dirt. Now we go on to work on the keep. This is what we have to work with to start out with, and it's not too bad, but we can definitely make it better. So I kind of go for the same style I went with for the houses, especially when it comes to the roof. I really like that orange color roof, and adding it on different layers of the castle really works well. I also try to keep the windows pretty big, around the same size as they were originally, and that makes it look really good and kind of keeps it true to itself. I also try to add some arches in here and make it look really clean and smooth and nice. Now we go to work on this main top area with this kind of roof thing here, and we do obviously trade that out for another orange roof that looks really nice. The shape on this one was definitely interesting to figure out, and I think it turned out really cool. And here I go on to expand the roof down towards the other end of the castle. I made sure to keep the same dimensions for most of the buildings in the castle, especially all the towers and stuff. Kept that pretty much the same, just transformed it in my own way. Now going on to these towers, I think I found a really cool design with kind of the bottom arching inward, I guess is how I'd explain it. But yeah, I really like the way that these towers in specific turned out. I do also add a flag on this tower as well as some other ones later on in the video. After I have that side tower done, I copy it over to the other side and kind of change up the roof a little bit and add another flag there as well. And I think the roofs being different on these two towers make it really unique and make it stand out quite a bit. Now moving to this next side of the castle, we go in and work on like this balcony area that turns out really nice. I keep that same style throughout and it turns out pretty cool. You'll notice for this transformation on the castle in specific, I kind of like get rid of most of the wall details and kind of start from scratch. I think this really helps me out a lot in making it my own, and yeah, I think it just turns out pretty cool. Again, doing the same thing here on this wall with these kind of window things, as well as another balcony on the top. Now moving on to this tower, I felt like it had like too much going on and not enough going on at the same time. So I kind of just pulled back the walls and put them in a little bit to add that depth that it definitely needed. I also had the idea to make this tower in specific a clock tower, and I think it turned out really cool, and I'm pretty happy with it. Again, moving on to the next side of the castle, we go in and work on this big window with the throne room, and kind of just detail this wall up, make it look really nice, and keep the same style again throughout. Now going on to this next tower, I decided to get rid of the bottom part of this because it was sticking out way too much, and one side of it was just really awkward and flat. This tower isn't as detailed as the other ones, mainly because it's a little bit smaller, but it still turns out pretty nice, and yeah. Now moving on to this side of the build, there are these like two little buildings down below that I kind of transform as well. These are kind of connected to the bridge that goes across to the main big tower of this build. And for the buildings, I do try to go with a similar style I did with the front towers on this, adding a little bit of a curved shape near the bottom. And now I go to work on the giant bridge. This bridge is not to scale with like anything else in the build, but I definitely think that's what makes it pop out. Also, not to mention the giant flag underneath is definitely a pretty cool added touch. Now moving on to the big tower where the king jumps from in the Fallen Kingdom music video. This one I didn't transform too drastically, but I did make the roof a little bit nicer, as well as kind of just made it a bit cleaner on the edges and the sides. With that tower done, we go in and work on the interior. That's why there's kind of a little bit of a shift in the shaders off, because it'd be kind of hard to see the inside. So I turned the shaders off so you guys can see all the interiors that I'm doing. Obviously with the throne room first, then we go on to work on the bedroom and then the nether portal kind of area. After that, we go to work on a little bit of a library, and then on the last floor we work on the kitchen / dining area. After that, I go in and finish the rest of the houses in this build. For these three here, I stick with the same style and kind of just add that back in. I copy and paste one of the houses that I had already made. And then over down at kind of the town square area, I fix up those buildings as well as the well a little bit. I did a slight transformation on the well, nothing too crazy. And then on all those houses there as well. I also do transform this little creeper cage. I kind of add the grindstones on the bottom for wheels, and I think that looks really nice. And then lastly, I go in and work on these last buildings. I kind of had the idea to take like half of the roof of one of the other buildings I did earlier and kind of make it on the ground level, like an angled house. I think it turns out really cool. I just have 2 rows of those either side. And then on this statue, I do just a slight transformation, kind of like detailing it a little bit, texturing it. Now going on to the last area of the kingdom, the prison. I pretty much completely scrapped the old prison design in this and make my own, and I think it turns out pretty good. I had an idea of what I wanted it to be like in my mind, and I think I got it pretty spot on. Also, again, the shaders off here to show you the inside getting built as well. And then lastly, I go in and add a little bit of terrain texturing, as well as some flowers and trees and grass and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and check out the new and improved Fallen Kingdom. Alright guys, I think you and me both know there's only one thing left to do.